From a very young age, I would definitely say I was always pretty disciplined. It was just instilled in me naturally and the way I was raised.
And for me, I've always respected people that I knew were disciplined, or at least I could kind of tell that they were disciplined. And it's why I admire people like David Goggins. At the bare minimum, they're disciplined and they can get things done. Mainly because to be disciplined, it means you're prioritizing what needs to be done over what you want to do. And I think all of us can agree that requires at least a good amount of willpower. And sometimes prioritizing what needs to be done can mean deterring your very instinct on what you want to do. And as you can see, it looks a whole lot like that most of the times, but not just in your body, but up here. Well, recently, I think I have started to have a change in that opinion of mine of seeing discipline as this great and glorious thing. Now, the reel that I was watching talked about primarily devotion and discipline, and it went on to go say that devotion was greater than discipline. Now in my mind, I couldn't see this because these two things were essentially the same. It led you to the exact same thing, which in the end was priority. You prioritize something over others. So if they lead to the exact same thing, how are they any different and how is one better than the other?
Now, when I finished all my exams and summer vacation started, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty freaking undisciplined and I was just being a fat freaking chud. But back in my prime, I was locked. 6:30 wake up, gym, eat, work, and then sleep, repeat.
And it wasn't like I was riding some magical high of motivation to keep me going. No, I kept that up for a year straight. And it definitely took a lot of willpower and discipline out of me to maintain that. But never once did I become like that for the sake of wanting to better myself, to love myself, and to just be a better person. No. Instead, it was always shame and hatred. Most of my life, I lived a pathetic existence. Internally, nothing was going on and it felt like absolute crap. So, the more disciplined I became, the more I hated and shamed that previous version of myself, which was still me at the deepest levels. And it turned into this vicious cycle where I'd first feel that shame and hatred, which eventually drove action, but I'd keep up a consistent level, but as soon as I slip up a single time, that shame and hatred lights back up and I become even more resentful towards myself, and in turn, it repeats itself. I had absolutely no patience for myself. Discipline required so much out of me with so little room for error, so little just space for me to have a little leeway. But in the last 2 years after finding God, a lot has changed about me, and that includes my idea of what discipline is. I think my idea of discipline, or what I considered discipline in my head, turned a lot more into what was described as devotion in the reel. Now, I described devotion as quite literally the opposite of what I said discipline was, which was out of shame and hatred. And instead of shame and hatred, it's purely love. A love so intense that you can't help but want to do something. A love for the cause, for the act, for the principle that drives you forward and causes you to do things. And now I really don't struggle to have good days anymore. Because even if it's a little subpar or I slip up just a tiny bit, I realize that's not major enough to mess with me. And it's really not crucial to what I want to do here, my purpose. Because most of the times when I felt that little bit that I could have gave and I didn't, I constantly beat myself up because my ego and my pride couldn't handle it, that I wasn't that guy. But now I realize that ego and pride are kind of both stupid. really stupid. And that's another thing God's really changed for me. There's a whole lot of elements and variables that go into this, but the main thing that happened was because God saved me, and I love him for that fact. He's done more than I could ever give back for, and that's why I continue to push forward and give my absolute all day after day after day. I know all that I need is God and the Bible. I do the work and I go above and beyond, and I work hard. I work my freaking butt off because I want to and I can. Even if I didn't have the opportunity to work, I would still have all that I would ever need. I still have God. I still have the Bible. And maybe a little gym sprinkled in there, but that's optional. Although I berate discipline and call it this really awful thing, discipline at its core and what it's trying to achieve is not a bad thing, but it's simply the way people go about it oftentimes. And I don't think I'm the only one that shamed or hated themselves into discipline. It's about the intention behind it. Whenever you use negativity to drive yourself forward, sure, it can get you places. It can get you somewhere. But will you maintain it? That's a whole nother question, and I think the answer to that question is no. You gotta treat yourself the way God intended. You can't berate yourself and call yourself absolutely worthless, because that might be your opinion, but there's millions of out there that would say your life is worthy, and God is one of them.
The type of relationship you should have with yourself is akin to that of a parent and child. A good parent doesn't discipline their child for no reason. It's out of love. A good parent doesn't expect perfection out of their child. They expect growth and learning. So don't hate yourself and reconsider what discipline means to you. Keep it real. Don't be overly lenient. Don't be overly strict. That sweet spot. So, you should love yourself now!